Morning, everyone. Hope you're having a lovely day. The weather is looking beautiful again. Sun's out, at least here in Cornwall it is. I don't know what it's like where you are. Um, so, talking on the message of feeding faith, we're on the next part. Um, so, today's is going to be. I haven't got my t-shirt on today. I haven't got my famous t-shirt on today. Today's is going to be about being hungry. So, since we're talking about feeding, it's important that we talk about being hungry, because to be fed, you need to have a hunger for something. Or at least you need to realise that you're hungry for something. So, I said before, we're always following something, or always feeding or taking in something. And the reason why we're always taking in something is because we're always hungry for something. We always want something more. Like, if I compare it, I'll use the example of, imagine a child, or even us as a child. I suppose me as a child, very although didn't have lots of money when I was a child, and neither did my family. We still had things like presents. So it's like funny, the whole idea of gifts. That say it's Christmas or birthdays, you get a gift, and you really wanted that gift at one point, but when you get it, you just want for something else. And it's something like that in our lives as adults. We still follow the same pattern. We get what we want. And then that doesn't seem to be enough, so we need the next best thing. If we've got a push bike, then we want the next push bike up, or the next better one, or the one of the day. If it's a console, then we want the latest console. We want the best thing. We want the next thing, the next phone, the next whatever it is. So we're always wanting more, and we're hungry, and we're thirsty for things. But we've got two attitudes towards our hunger and thirst. We can either admit that we're hungry and thirsty and realise that, and swallow our pride and say, actually, I'm realising that I'm hungry, I want something. There's a part of me inside that is just not being filled, that I have to just have things. I just have to have something. I have to have, even if it's acceptance or people, there's a need inside of me that needs something. And I think we should get to the place, first of all, in our lives of realising that we're in need. There's a song that was written by somebody I know, called "Man Needs God," and I think that's the imperative of probably this message, is that there's a need inside. But the question is your need satisfied? Some people find they're searching after they fall into relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship, but they still don't have their inner need met. They still don't have an inner peace. Some people follow political agenda, or a politician, or things like that, and they'll keep chasing after it, and they're never happy until, even if the law changed, they wouldn't be happy. There'd still be something more that they wanted to achieve or to attain. And so yeah, but it's never filled. But here's the thing. So I want to share today from looking at John, and it says, most assuredly I say to you, this is what Jesus said to them, Moses did not give you bread from heaven, but my Father gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of heaven is him who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. Okay, so I'm just reading a little bit. Okay, Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall never hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. But I said to you that you have seen me, and yet you do not believe. All that the Father gives me will come to me, and the one who comes to me I will by no means cast out. For I have come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. This is the will of the Father who sent me, that all who he has given to me I should lose nothing, but should raise it up at the last day. And this is the will of him who sent me, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So, Jesus is the bread of heaven, the bread that you can take of, and he says you'll never hunger and you'll never thirst again. He's not talking about a literal hunger, so I'm still going to be hungry in my stomach for food, but he's talking about a spiritual hunger, the hunger of life. I'm not aiming to fill my life with things anymore. I don't need to chase after the latest car, or the latest phone, or the latest possessions, or have a bigger house, or all those kind of things. And there's nothing wrong with the thing itself. It's the search for more. It's what are we hungering after? What are we looking to build or to attain? And what does that profit? So it says Jesus, when we find Jesus, that we become satisfied. Paul uses something, I've become content in all things. If I have, then I'm happy, and if I don't have, I'm happy, because I'm content in Christ. So the question is today is, have a look at your life, reflect over and see what you've been hungering after. Have a think about where that is going to lead to, essentially. But what I want to offer on this video today is that there is a bread of heaven, so to speak, Jesus Christ, and through knowing Him, you won't hunger anymore. I can tell you that, of my own experience. You won't hunger for the things of this world anymore. You won't feel the pains in the same way for the things of this world anymore. You'll have a different appetite. You'll have an appetite to know Christ, and you want to know Him more, but you'll be content actually in Him. It says that all who find Him are content in Him, and that is true. At least it is for myself. When everything breaks down, I'm happy with what I have, and I'm blessed with what I have. I have much, and even if I had nothing materially, I'd still be very blessed. To have peace in my heart. There's many who would love to have that. I realise that, and there's many who can have that through Jesus Christ. So that's what I want to encourage you into today. Know Jesus Christ, know peace, be filled with the bread of heaven, feed your faith. Love you, bye.